Good afternoon. This is the final project of implementing a digital marketing campaign. So what's the business? The Port Phillip shop is a small to medium enterprise where most of its customers reside outside the region where it is based. This is a small shop in Warragul. Its online shop is the engine of the business. Hardly gets any business through the front door. So it's based in regional Victoria. It supplies the best Australian-made footwear and clothing on the market. That includes famous, iconic Australian brands such as RM and Akubra. So to grow the business, the Port Phillip shop has to widen its customer base and develop a strategy to reduce, in the eyes of the consumer, the onerous price of the products, which is overwhelmingly the pain point. The average cost of a pair of boots is around about $500 to $600. They're great products, but they are expensive. The strategy cannot include a discount in the price of the products. It just would put the viability of the business at risk. So the campaign objective is to increase sales by 24 to 25 pairs of RM Williams boots per month via the online store by the end of a 6-month promotion. So that would add about $12,000 to $15,000 to the turnover. So who are the growth opportunities here? And it's worth pointing out that both of these types of the audience would be the children of repeat customers in many cases. So typically, first audience we're after is a young man, he's mid-20s, early 30s, lives in rural Australia, typically in Victoria or southern New South Wales, has a post-secondary qualification, probably employed in the agricultural sector as a stock agent, water broker, real estate agent, ag machinery sales, something like that. Currently earns about 50 to 60k. He works hard, he's ambitious, and he wants early advancement in his career. He's a conservative thinker. He uses social media sparingly, which is a challenge. He has strong loyalties to family, friends, and wants to be respected by his peers. He's heavily involved with his community in football, cricket, and with the local volunteer fire brigade. His daily interaction with customers, clients, and colleagues has placed an emphasis on his personal presentation. Knowing that traditional business wear is inappropriate. You can't go out and meet a farmer in a paddock if you're wearing a pair of Italian shoes. He seeks practical, well-made, fashionable footwear and clothing. This helps meet his peers' expectations. The other part of the audience we're after is a young woman in her mid-20s, lives in rural or regional Australia. Typically she's a retail or hospitality worker, perhaps studying part-time. Currently earning 40 to 45k. She's conscientious, family-oriented, and loves to go out and mix with friends. She regularly uses social media, Instagram and Facebook, and perhaps even TikTok. TikTok is obviously huge, exponential growth, and her preferred digital device is her phone. Long-term, she seeks a post-secondary qualification, and she finds her current role repetitive and without any real career opportunities. Ideally, she wants more client and customer interaction, and to be valued by her peers. She invests heavily in her personal appearance and in her image. She wants to be successful and is conscious that presentation is vitally important. So they're the two typical audience that we're after. This is the landing page that we'll put in place. It's a rough draft, but it's got strong images backed by brief statements from credible contributors. So Reginald Murray Williams, the founder of the business, and Hugh Jackman there, who's a part owner of the business. And there's a prominent call to action, and the offer is time limited. The headline copy there, best boots in the world, bar none. And RM Williams boots are built for Australia, made by Australians, handcrafted in South Australia, boots that are made to last. That quite reinforces the consumer's already strong awareness of the brand, while the image of Hugh holding a pair of boots in the factory in South Australia adds credibility to the statement. Here is our Google account structure. This is how we're going to do it. You've got the ad groups there with the messages in there with the headlines. We've got 3 headlines there, the description, and it all gets pushed back to the landing page. So I won't reiterate what will make the ad compelling. It's a fairly simple principles. strong images backed by brief statements from good contributors, statements from people that you can believe. How do we optimise the Google Ads score quality? Well, we'll be basically analysing it as probably every couple of days, certainly to begin with. We'll split test words, headlines, images again and again. We'll continue to refine the customer personas depending on what our data is telling us, and we'll more closely target core customers, and we'll evaluate every keyword, split test everything, and try different copy during those times where core customers are expected to be online. We won't overcommit to large ad groups. It's counterproductive. Too hard to difficult to monitor. So the custom audience there is male, early 20s, 30s, female, 19 to late 20s. The Google, when will we use the GDN ads? For the young men, mid-afternoon, early evening. These are the most likely times they will be online, probably catching up on paperwork and later using the internet for entertainment. GDN type will be image ad, video ad, mobile ad. For the young ladies, GDN targeted for lunchtime and evening. The use of her mobile phone will be at its height in the middle of the day and in the early evening. And the type of ads we're going to use: image ad, video, mobile for the young men, and for the young women, mobile, image and shopping ads will be used. We're going to use Facebook and Instagram, certainly in the awareness consideration phases. The target audience is there, the marketing objective is there, and an example of the kind of ads that we will use, again using those quotes and those headlines, and a limited time offer. Here is the customer funnel, if you like. So we know the customer is familiar with the brand, but also with the expense. They like the workmanship, but the expense is a real pain point. They don't know what boot they want, and they don't know what size or colour that they want. They're unaware of it. So we want the customer to believe that the boots are worth the expense. We want them to be able to pay back their purchases interest-free over time, which will remove the pain point for most people. We want to make sure the decision to purchase is easy, and we want to offer those who do not convert a message to re-engage. So we'll address issues of size and colour and repayment times and all that kind of stuff. The key message is the best boots in the world bar none, built for Australia, by Australians, handcrafted in South Australia. Interest-free is the big message in the conversion. Interest-free payback over 12 months, and that will be the re-engagement message as well. The paid channels we're going to use are Facebook, Instagram, search engine marketing, utilising Google AdWords, both in the awareness and consideration phase. The conversion phase will include the landing page on the online store, and we'll re-engage using Facebook, Instagram, and possibly email. We own online store. We have an online store email, and we'll do a hard copy catalogue. We'll have a blog. We'll talk about the project. Again, in the conversion phase, we'll have that hard copy catalogue. Hard copy catalogues are quite popular, especially amongst young women. There'll be an interest-free period, and we will emphasise the repair and relasting services that are offered post-sales. So after they've acquired the product, we'll still maintain a commitment to take those products back and repair them and potentially relast them, which is almost a rebuild of the boot. We'll be re-engaging through email, emphasising those messages. We'll have some industry publications as earned messages, event programs, field days, where farmers get together once a year. Those days, those very big days in the area that we're targeting are in Elmore. There's one in Warragul, and there's others in New South Wales. We'll be utilising social conversations and taking advantage of customer advocacies and each of the consideration, conversions and re-engagement phases. And the impact that we want to have on the customer is to say, increase their levels of awareness about affordability, obviously emphasise the high quality of the product, and we'll use Google Analytics to re-engage or analyse the target audience that we're after and re-engage those that choose not to convert. So the measurement that we'll be using to fulfill the objective of the campaign is obviously conversion. That sits at the heart of what we're trying to get to. The higher the conversion rate, the higher the value of sales to the business. We'll be using paid search, Google AdWords, the GDN will be utilised as well. The effectiveness of each will be analysed via Google Analytics. Again, split testing words, images, headlines, copy, again and again. The product we know is well known and highly regarded, and so we're not starting from scratch. And the factory does sell many hundreds of boots per month. So the objective of the campaign is to direct more search traffic to the online store and increase the conversion rate by CRO. The campaign will be performing poorly if the principal KPI was not met, and that is obviously the conversion rate.